Hi, I'm R.Stenberg, publisher of Stonewash magazine. Welcome to our High Tea Club. It's basically recipes. You get to share recipes with me on our Facebook page, and I get to share recipes with you through this video. So today, we're going to be making stuffed jalapeno peppers. Yum, yum. I love hot, spicy food, and I hope you do too. But I can show you a way how to make it without the spiciness to it. All right, so let's get started. Over here, I have about 4 to 5, actually 5 jalapeno peppers. They're a little thick in size. When you go to the grocery store, you can figure out, the thickness of it, but the thicker the better. It's easier to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my jalapeno peppers on my cutting board. So I have about 6 of them. I'm going to take this knife and I'm going to just cut off the top head of the jalapeno peppers, which is now easier to work with. And the inside of it is where the seeds are, and that is what's spicy about it. Now, if you're not really great with your knife skills, I suggest leaving the jalapeno peppers on the counter and basically just cutting it this way, holding it and bringing it down this way, right in the middle. Once you do that, I have an empty bowl here. Now, this is for if you don't want it spicy. If you don't want it spicy, you take your knife, be careful with your hand, and you're just going to cut it like a shelf. You're cutting out the insides of it, and you leave it here. You just basically, actually, we're going to put it back in here because we need to rinse it off because you don't want it spicy. So we're going to do that again. Just put your knife about 1/2 inch in and just press against it. And it comes right out. It's easy to do. So we're going to do that one more time. And if you're really good with your knife skills, all you have to do is get a little grip and slice right in the middle. And you got it. Again, just please be very careful when you're taking out the seeds. You don't want to cut yourself. So this will be the last non-spicy jalapeno pepper. I'm showing you how to de-seed. And there we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to stick this in this bowl, and I'll be right back. I'm going to take the jalapeno peppers, go to the kitchen sink, and rinse them under cold water just to remove all the seeds out of them. And we'll be right back. So we're back. I rinsed off the jalapeno peppers, taken out every seed because that's what makes it spicy. And I rinsed off my board and cleaned out the seeds from the empty container that I have, glass container. So now we're going to make spicy, my favorites. So we're going to cut off the head again off the jalapeno. And again, you can either keep your jalapeno on the board or you can do as I'm doing. We are going to remove the insides. It's going to be spicy, but we're going to remove the insides just like what we did for the non-spicy ones. And since the jalapenos have been rinsed off, I don't need to rinse it off like I did the non-spicy one. And if there's any seed that's left over, we want to keep, you don't want to try to get rid of it because that's what makes it very spicy. Okay, so now we are done. So now let me just show you a quick little trick. So we're going back in the bowl where we took out the insides. We're going to just scrape back some of the hot pepper. It depends how hot you want it. If you like very, very spicy, you're just going to do this and scrape off some of the seeds back into the jalapeno peppers. And that's going to give it a bite. So let's just get this all in here. I like it very spicy, so I'm going to get a lot of seeds in here. I'll try to. Now, when you're baking these, make sure you don't mix them with the non-spicy one. I actually did that once, and my poor husband, he doesn't like spicy, and he ended up getting a spicy one. But he survived. So we have some seeds in here now, and this is perfect. Next, I have some boiling water on the stove. It's been boiling, and we're going to make the stuffing for the jalapeno peppers. We're going to keep these in here. Now, for stuffing, I have what Americans call yuca. In my country, from where I'm from, Liberia, we call them cassava. So I have yuca in a dry form. And what I'm going to do is take it and crush it into this bowl. So you can just crush it with your hands. We want to try to get about half a cup of dry yuca in here. And now it doesn't have to be, I can get a mallet or something to crush it, but it's okay. Once it gets into the water, it's going to dissolve. So just a little bit rough. Probably use 2 more pieces to get half a cup. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We should have about half a cup here. Now, we all know, and we've seen boxes like these. This is stuffing, what we normally use for turkey. We're going to use and mix with the yuca, the dry yuca. So I'm going to pull out the bag. Pop that open. And for the stuffing, I'm going to use my measuring cup so that way I know I didn't for the yuca, but we're going to use it for this. And we want half a cup. Maybe we got a little bit over half a cup, but that should be good enough. I'm going to put this here, put that back. We're going to take a little bit of the seasoning that we had and just sprinkle it over it. Now I'm going to take the mixture and I'm going to bring it to the stove. Hi, so now we're at the stove where we need to make our stuffing mix for the jalapeno peppers. And the water has been boiling because before we started we had our water boiling, and we put on a cup and a half of water while we were prepping, so that way the half a cup could drain down basically. So now we have about a cup. So we're working with the cup. We're going to shut off the stove. And I brought the stuffing mixture just in case we do need to add a little bit more, because I was thinking it would be a cup and a half, but the water has drained down, so we only have a half. We only have a cup, I'm sorry. I did cut 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to drop that into the water. I'm going to take the mixture. Now, it's just regular stuffing, dry stuffing, and cassava yuca. So all you have to do is mix it around the pot. And like I told you, the yuca will absorb the water just like the stuff and mix will. And now we're going to just let that set, and we will come back to it. Hi, so we're back. I waited 10 minutes and I removed the stuff and mix from in the pot, even though it was just sitting on the stove top without any heat or fire under it. And here we have the stuff and mix, the yuca and the regular stuffing. And it tastes wonderful, believe me. I've tasted it. I'm going to take extra virgin olive oil, and I have a bacon dish, square bacon dish for the jalapenos. Again, I usually use the cover of the oil top for measuring because we don't need a lot. So a full cup, just sort of drizzle it back and forth in the pan. Okay, so we're going to start with the non-spicy jalapeno first. But before that, we have to continue adding into our stuffing. Here I got from Stop and Shop is sheep and goat milk blend cheese. I love goat cheese. And if you love goat cheese and other cheeses, you're going to love this stuff and mix. So the goat cheese comes in like a square. And I'm going to grab a plate so you can see. So it's square, and it's really easy to crumble, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So what we want to do, we want to take half the goat cheese, and we want to crumble it into our mixture. And your mixture should still be nice and warm, and that's exactly how you want it. Next, we're going to take ricotta cheese, and it has, you know, at the supermarket, I notice it comes in whole milk, skim milk. I bought whole. I like to taste the quality of everything I buy. So we're going to take a new spoon, and this is a tablespoon, and we're just going to do 2 tablespoons of ricotta cheese. And that's pretty good. Close that back up. Okay, now we have the mixture. You can use the spatula. I'm just going to fold this in. Gets a little messy. And this is a recipe I actually came up with on my own. So it's always fun to come up with recipes on your own. So now that's mixed enough. What I'm going to do, you're going to take a, you know what, since we're using this, the same old spoon you use for the ricotta cheese, we're going to start stuffing the jalapeno peppers. But just before I forget, I've got to open up the bacon. And these knives, these scissors are, you know, everyone should have a kitchen scissor somewhere because it comes in handy. Okay, so we have the thick cut bacon pieces. We're going to take a full spoon, tablespoon, and we're going to stuff the jalapeno. And if you want bacon, you can take half the bacon. You don't need the full bacon. Just cut it in half. take your non-spicy. And what I normally do, I start from the tail, because then I can hold it that way. And I do 1 wrap and 2. And that's in. And you put it in your baking dish. And you just repeat the steps until you're done. You really want to get the jalapeno really stuffed, but not overly stuffed. Oops, forgot my bacon. So let's try to cut a few. Just want to make sure the bacon's on top. Perfect. So here we are. We've completed the stuffed jalapenos. And what I did, so that way I wouldn't make the mistake again, like what I did with my poor husband, giving him a hot jalapeno. In this row, I put all the non-spicy. So all the non-spicy jalapenos are in one row. And in the next row, I put the spicy jalapenos. So 2 together at a time per row. And I think this is ready to go in the oven. You're going to place this in the oven at 350 to 375. I would stay on the 350 degrees for about 15 minutes tops. But usually about 12 minutes is good enough at 350, depending on how hot your oven gets. And if it does get hot, 350, 12 minutes. So let's take this to the oven and we'll be right back. Hi, so here we have our stuffed jalapeno peppers. It's all ready. The pan is nice and hot, so I should really try not to burn your fingers. Now, we did keep this in for 15 minutes, the full 15 minutes. If you want your bacon a little bit crispier, you can actually keep it in maybe for 25 minutes, but you don't want to keep it in longer than that. And we have our stuffed jalapeno peppers. And you can just continue to plate it for your guest. And this is it. So bon appetit.